What's up, guys? It's your boy Justin with another Halloween month review. Sorry this is a day late. I was busy yesterday, and I'll have a haul video sometime next week. I have a lot of videos in the backlog. Oh my god, but it was the thing where it's like, oh, I was supposed to upload like a Halloween month review, so I'm not going to upload a random book review. Which, look forward to that review, I don't know when. Because, like, I was going to post it on Sunday, but you know what? Since I was a day late with this one, well, I'll post another bonus Halloween month review. So we'll review, like, you know, Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 3. But today we're reviewing American comics. Today we're reviewing Marvel Ghost Stories, which goes for 19 US, 22 Canadians, rated T+. This was at the children's section of my local comic book store, because for some reason he likes to put the cheaper Silver Age collections stuff with the kids stuff, which I guess I know why, because okay, it's cheaper, right? And usually, you know, the older stuff is more kid friendly, but this book has a comic from the 90s, which is super dark and probably shouldn't be in the kids section. By the way, I read this and the stupid cover came off. Fucking oh. What BS is that? I mean, fudging bullcrap. Yeah, so this collects, and this is in order, by the way. Captain America 326, which came out in 1968. I have a hard time believing that comic book came out in 1968, but the art was very 80s, but whatever. Ghost Rider 1973, issue 12. Hellstrom 1993, issue 6. Silver Surfer 1968, 8 through 9. Tomb of Dracula 1972, which came out in 1972, issue 23. War is Hell, issue 9. And West Coast Avengers 1985. Which came out in, which is issue 41. Written by Mark Gruenwald, who did the Captain America book. Tony Isabella did the Ghost Rider one. Raphael Nieves, I think he's an artist. Stan Lee wrote the Silver Surfer one. Marv Wolfman did the Tomb of Dracula. Chris Claremont did, I forget which one he did. And you got Roy Thomas, Tom DeFalco, Ralph Macchio. Ralph Macchio worked on the West Coast Avengers, and Roy Thomas worked on, I forget which one. I forget. I think Chris Claremont worked on the War is Hell book. So yeah, all these books have something in common where it's our characters fighting ghosts, or there's ghost supporting characters. So the first two books is like Ghost Rider, Silver Surfer gets attacked by Mephisto. He sends this, Ghost Pirate, the Flying Dutchman, to go after him. And it turns out the Flying Dutchman has a, you know, kind of tragic backstory, but not really. So yeah, this two-parter was okay, but yeah, it's like typical 60s, you know, Silver Age stuff. The next is Tomb of Dracula. This story was good. Very much reminded me of the movie Hell House, which this is basically a Tomb of Dracula book where, you know, Dracula has to fight like a spirit in a haunted house. Which, how the Tomb of Dracula book worked is that basically Dracula would sometimes fight vampire hunters, but would also sometimes fight random monsters. So this story was cool. Basically, he needs a new place to live at because his servants betrayed him, so he decides to seduce this girl and live in her mansion, not knowing that the mansion is haunted by the ghost of her uncle. Or is it her father? Or is it both? Alright, so yeah, this is cool. And yeah, it turns out the ghost is like was a Satanist who sold his soul, promised his niece to the demons, and Dracula has to fight and save him. Fight to save his new servant, right? Next is War is Hell, which the cover is a lie. But basically what happens is you have this main character, John Kowalski, who was American, who was in the Marine Corps, who was kicked out of the Marine Corps, dishonorably discharged, and thrown out of the country. Had his citizenship revoked because, you know, he committed espionage. But because they were in peace times, you know, they didn't kill him. So he moves to Poland only for when Poland gets attacked by Germany at the start of World War II. So we find out his tragic backstory. He dies in the bombing, but tries to save this little girl from this homeless vagrant. That happened. He dies after that, but the girl's still alive. So he's trying to keep her safe. But yeah, only for that not to happen. So that was a horror story. Next, we have this Ghost Rider story where we have Marvel's version of the enemy ace called Phantom Eagle. So, oh my god, this book is by Tony Isbell and Frank Robbins, who I've heard Frank Robbins was considered one of the shittier artists in the 60s and 70s. Basically, when like Jack Kirby, they want somebody with a Jack Kirby kind of look, but not as good, they would get him. And yeah, the art's not great, but I don't know if I wouldn't necessarily it's that bad, but yeah, it's not good. I mean, it's the thing where it's like, I think it's more like his choices of character design, his choices of faces. Like, he draws very ugly faces on our characters. But yeah, the story here is that basically Ghost Rider saves this old man from Phantom Eagle, who was this vigilante superhero in World War I or something. And, Phantom Eagle was shot down by this guy during World War I. And only for us to find out maybe that didn't happen. And it probably didn't happen. And Phantom Eagle wants revenge. But, Ghost Rider's trying to save the old guy. Because the old guy has been tormented by Phantom Eagle for 60 years. Like, it takes you 60 years to kill one guy, dude. Oh my god. So next is, we have Haunting of Skull House. This is a Captain America book. Written by Mark Grunwald. With art by Paul Neer. And this story, little weird. Basically, Captain America has a hotline. Somebody called him, say, hey, there's something weird going on at Red Skull's mansion, which apparently Red Skull is allowed to have a mansion in America for some reason, where he has a secret laboratory, everything. And Captain America goes to investigate, gets confronted by the ghost of Red Skull, and is told that, hey, I'm become the servant of a higher power. We get a recap of shit that happened in, earlier stories, which if you want to, like, I'm subscribed to a guy called Son of Nimrod who reviewed Captain America comics from this era, I think, and his reviews are pretty good, so check them out. But I'm sure that this does not look like, this looks like this art is from the 80s, not the fucking 60s, but late 60s, but I don't know. Basically, Captain America is told that, hey, you killed a guy, so you have to kill yourself to redeem yourself. But if you're not going to kill yourself, we have all the ghosts of your enemies that have died to kill you. So one of them is MODOK. You have the Porcupine. This guy's called Scourge or something, and this guy's a random bad guy, henchman. So we find out this was actually this is actually happening. He's under hypnotism or hallucinogenics by this villain called Dr. Faustus. Only for Dr. Faustus to get taken out by the actual ghosts of Red Skull, which I thought that was an okay story. Next is the West Coast Avengers story, where this one was all over the place. Ralph Macchio. All over the place. Apparently, Ralph Macchio, the kid from the Karate Kid, I guess worked for Marvel for a while, and he wrote this book with Tom DeFalco, with art by Tom Morgan. Is basically what's happening is Seth, the Serpent God, is trying to conquer Asgard, and And while that's going on, the Avengers are visiting the descendant of the Phantom Rider, who was a Wild West superhero, which apparently went back in time, and Mockingbird may or may not have been snuggled by Phantom Rider, which is that's very dark for a kid's book. And you know, apparently they went back in the present, and she's still getting tormented by the ghost of Phantom Rider. So they think you know they have to see the descendant. And while that's going on, they get attacked by the servants of Seth, because they realize Khonshu's on Earth, and Khonshu is an enemy of Seth. With Khonshu is inhabiting Moon Knight. And what happens is the two go. There's apparently two Phantom Riders inside the descendant of the Phantom Rider, and they battle. One's good, one's evil. One's the original, one's like the evil brother of the guy who took over. So I thought this was a cool story. Damon Hellstrom is on the team, and I'm not a fan of this costume. And like, yeah, he's like the most powerful member of the team at the time. A lot of these characters don't even have superpowers, or are a little too low level to be fighting like enemies that the Asgardians have trouble with. But you know, it is what it is. It was a fun story. Next is a super dark story. This is like something from Doom Patrol. Like the art very much reminded me of Doom Patrol, or that Darkhold book. But yeah, basically what happens is little girl gets killed, but she's haunting the house of her parents' home, and like this father goes to Damon Hellstrom to do an exorcism, only for Damon Hellstrom to figure out, yeah, it wasn't the uncle who killed the little girl, it was actually the dad. And bad things happen to the little girl. Yeah, this shouldn't be. I feel like that they should have kept with the theme of the book and had only Silver Age stories. Why is there a super fucking dark story at the end? Because the kid who accidentally reads this might not pick up what's happening with Mockingbird, but probably figure out what was going on with Lisa. So that was fucked up. But overall, I did enjoy the book. And for for the price, yeah, it's worth it. Because you're getting like I think it's like 8 issues in this book, or 7 issues. I have to double check, but yeah, for what you're getting, it's a cool anthology book, and I would recommend it. You know, solid 7 out of 10. But I would not recommend this for kids. This shouldn't have been in the kids section at my local comic book store. But then again, they had like a bunch of stuff that was teen, but whatever. Yeah, that's it for this review, guys. Peace. My next Halloween month review will hopefully be tomorrow and Monday. Peace.